The night was quiet on the deserted planet. Only the sound of broken winds moved through the empty rocks. A lonely human man worked on his damaged ship. His hands were tired, his face was dusty, and his heart was heavy. He had been stranded for many weeks with no hope of leaving soon. He sat near a small fire, staring at the dark sky filled with strange stars. The silence was deep, almost painful. Suddenly, he heard something unusual. It was soft at first, almost like the wind. But then it grew clearer. It was the sound of someone crying. The man froze. His eyes searched the darkness around him. This planet was supposed to be empty. No humans lived here. He slowly stood up, holding a small tool for protection. The sound came against soft sobs, filled with sadness. He followed the sound, step by step, through the rocky path. The shadows grew deeper and the wind colder. Finally, he reached a cave. From inside, the crying became louder. His heart beat fast. Who could it be? The man stepped inside. His eyes adjusted to the dim light, and then he saw her. It was not a human. She was an alien woman, sitting against the wall of the cave. Her skin was pale and glowing faintly in the dark. Her large eyes shimmered like liquid silver, and her hair was long and strange, flowing like smoke. She looked weak, almost broken. The man stopped in shock. The alien woman lifted her head. Tears ran down her cheeks. When she spoke, her voice was soft and trembling. "Please, help me." The man did not move. He had seen aliens before, but never like this. She did not look dangerous. She looked poor, scared, and lost. "Who are you?" he asked carefully. She lowered her eyes. I have no one left. My people are gone. I am all alone." The man felt a strange pull in his chest. He wanted to walk away, to stay safe, but something in her voice stopped him. He slowly stepped closer. The alien woman reached out her hand, shaking. "I beg you, don't leave me, please." The man knelt down beside her. He could see her body trembling. She was cold, hungry, and weak. He gave her a small piece of food from his pack. She ate it carefully, like someone who had not tasted food in days. After a long silence, she looked into his eyes. Her silver gaze was deep, almost endless. "You are human," she whispered. "I prayed the stars would send me one." The man frowned. "Why?" She took a deep breath, her voice breaking with emotion. "Because only a human can save me." The man felt confused. "Save you? From what?" She lowered her head, her tears falling again. "From my fate. My people will destroy me if they find me. They say I am weak. They say I do not belong. But if I marry a human, they cannot touch me. The old laws will protect me." The man's heart stopped for a moment. Did she just say, "Marry"? He shook his head. "You don't even know me. Would you ask me this?" Her voice cracked as she spoke, each word heavy with pain. "Because I have no other choice. Without you, I will die." The cave grew colder. The man felt the weight of her words pressing on him. He wanted to ask more questions, to understand her strange story. But before he could, the alien woman suddenly leaned closer. Her eyes glowed brighter, and her voice dropped to a whisper filled with fear. "They are coming." The man looked toward the cave entrance. The night outside seemed darker, heavier, as if shadows were moving in the distance. His heart began to race. The alien woman clutched his hand desperately. "Please, marry me, human, before it's too late." Her voice echoed in the cave, mixing with the sound of the wind. The man's mind was full of questions, but one thing was clear: his life would never be the same again. The cave was silent after her words. The human man could still hear them in his head. "Please, marry me, human." before it's too late. He looked at the alien woman. Her glowing eyes were wet with tears. Her hands were cold as ice as she held onto him. For a moment, he did not know what to say. He had traveled too many worlds, met many creatures, but never had anyone begged him for marriage in such a way. Finally, he whispered, "Why me? Why a human?" The alien woman's breath trembled. She turned her face away, ashamed. "Because my people are cruel. They are powerful, but they follow old laws. One law is stronger than all others. If an alien woman is bonded to a human, no one can harm her. The bond is sacred. Even the strongest of my kind cannot break it." The man frowned. "That sounds like an old legend." Her eyes flashed with a mix of pain and fear. "No, it is true. My people fear humans, not because of strength, but because of the heart. Humans are loyal. Humans are stubborn. Humans protect what they love, even when the galaxy stands against them." The man stayed quiet. He wanted to laugh at the idea him, a stranded, lonely man, protector of a strange alien woman. But when he looked into her eyes, he did not laugh. He saw pain. He saw truth. The alien woman touched her chest. A faint light glowed under her skin. "Inside me is a mark. It means I am unworthy. My people call me cursed. I was supposed to die long ago, but I ran away. Since then, they have hunted me. If they catch me, they will burn me in front of the stars." The man's stomach turned. "That's horrible." She nodded slowly. "Yes, that is why I need you. With you, I have a chance to live. Without you, I am already dead." Her words cut through the silence like a knife. The man stood up and walked to the edge of the cave. He stared into the dark night, trying to clear his mind. This was madness. He was just a broken traveler, lost on a forgotten world. Why should he risk his life for her? But deep inside, he remembered her voice, the sound of her sobs, the way she clutched his hand like it was her last hope. Something about her touched him in a place he thought was long dead. He turned back. "If I believe you, if I help you, what happens then? What does this marriage mean?" The alien woman looked down, her cheeks glowing faintly. "It means our lives will be tied together. It means you will be my protector, and I will be yours. We will face danger as one. It means I will never leave your side, no matter what." The man felt his chest tighten. He had been alone for so long. The idea of someone never leaving his side both warmed and frightened him. Before he could answer, a sound came from outside the cave. A heavy thump, then another, like giant feet walking across the stones. The alien woman's eyes widened in terror. She pressed a finger to her lips. They are here." The man grabbed a sharp piece of metal from his bag. His heart pounded. He could feel the ground shaking with each step. The alien woman whispered in fear. "The hunters." Dark shadows moved across the cave entrance. Strange voices echoed, harsh and cold. "They are searching," she whispered. "If they find me, they will kill us both." The man tightened his grip on the metal shard. He was not ready for this. He had no weapons, no plan. But he looked at the alien woman, trembling and weak, and something inside him shifted. Maybe he had nothing to lose. Maybe helping her was the only thing that gave his life meaning now. The shadows grew closer. The hunters were sniffing, searching, following her trail. The alien woman crawled closer to him. Her glowing eyes full of terror, she whispered one last time, "Please do not let them take me. Promise me. Promise you will stand with me." The man looked at her, his mind racing. He had no answer yet, but the choice was coming fast. The cave filled with footsteps. Strange lights flashed across the stone walls. The hunters were almost inside. The man's heart pounded like thunder. He knew the moment had come. Would he run and save himself? Or would he fight for the alien woman who begged him for marriage? The cave shook as the first hunter's shadow fell across the floor, and then a blinding light filled the entrance. The cave glowed with strange lights. Shadows stretched across the walls. The human man tightened his grip on the piece of metal in his hand, his heart racing faster than ever before. The alien woman pressed herself against the stone, her silver eyes wide with fear. She whispered only one word: "Hunters." The sound of footsteps grew louder, heavy metallic boots striking against rock. The air carried a low hiss, like breathing through machines. Then came voices, cold, sharp, and filled with hatred. "She is close. The cursed one hides nearby." The man felt a chill crawl down his spine. Whoever these hunters were, they were not ordinary soldiers. Their voices carried the weight of death. The alien woman clutched his arm. Her voice trembled. "They are from my people. But worse, they live only for blood. If they find me, they will not stop until I am gone." The man wanted to ask more, but there was no time. The cave entrance flashed with a sudden red beam of light, scanning the ground. The hunters were searching for heat, for movement, for any sign of life. "Run," the alien whispered. "It is our only chance." The man hesitated. Running meant leaving his ship, his tools, everything. But staying meant certain death. He nodded quickly, and together they slipped deeper into the cave's darkness. The hunters entered. Their armor clanged as they moved. Strange weapons hummed in their hands, glowing with deadly energy. One of them sniffed the air like a beast. "She is here. I smell her fear." The man and alien moved quietly through a narrow passage, the floor wet and slippery. The alien woman's glow dimmed as she tried to hide her light. Still, every sound they made felt like thunder in the silence. Behind them, a voice roared, "There, run." A blast of energy struck the stone wall, sending sparks flying. The man pulled the alien woman forward, and they began to run. The chase had begun. The tunnels twisted like a maze. The man's legs burned with every step, but he did not stop. He could hear the hunters closing in, their heavy boots shaking the ground. Bright beams of light cut through the darkness, searching for them. That the alien woman stumbled, weak from hunger and fear. The man caught her before she fell. "Stay with me," he whispered. "Don't give up now." Her silver eyes looked at him with a strange mix of fear and trust. "Why do you help me? You could leave me." Man's breath was heavy, but his answer was steady. "Because I won't let them kill you. Not while I'm alive." Something flickered in her eyes, hope, fragile but real. They kept running. The tunnel opened into a wide chamber, glowing with crystals on the walls. For a moment, it felt almost beautiful. But then the sound of hunters filled the space again. One of them raised his weapon. A beam of red fire shot across the chamber. The man grabbed the alien woman and threw both of them to the ground. The blast burned the stone where they had just stood. The alien gasped. "They want to kill you too." The man clenched his jaw. "Then we'll both fight to survive." But he had no real weapon, no armor, no plan. All he had was his will. The hunters spread across the chamber. Their leader, taller than the rest, stepped forward. His mask glowed with a cruel red light. "The cursed one has chosen a human," he hissed. "How pathetic. Both will die tonight." The man stood, pulling the alien woman behind him. "If you want her, you'll have to go through me." The hunters laughed, a sound like broken metal. The leader raised his weapon. Then, so be it. Another blast filled the chamber. The man dove behind a rock, dragging the alien with him. Shards of stone exploded around them. The alien woman pressed against him, trembling. "They will never stop. she whispered. Unless we bond. Only then will they fear us. Her words struck deep. The man looked at her, his mind spinning. Could it be true? Could one strange marriage save them from death? He wanted to question her, but there was no time. The hunters were closing in, their glowing weapons aimed at the rock that shielded them. The alien woman leaned close, her voice desperate. Please, if you say yes now, the old law will protect us. But if you wait too long, we will both die. The man's heart pounded. He had faced danger before, but never a choice like this. His life, her life, both hung by a single word. The hunters shouted. Their leader aimed. The rock began to glow red, seconds away from breaking apart. The alien woman's silver eyes locked with his. Say it. Say the words. Bind with me. The man opened his mouth. The chamber was filled with smoke and fire. Shards of stone rained down as the hunters broke through the rock. Their glowing weapons hissed with deadly energy. The human man shielded the alien woman with his body, his arm bleeding from the flying debris. She clutched his hand tightly. Her silver eyes glowed bright in the dark, desperate and pleading. Say the words, she whispered. Bind with me. Now, the man's heart pounded. The hunters shouted in their strange language, closing in. He could feel death coming closer with every step. But still he hesitated. This was madness. Marriage, to an alien he had just met, a woman hunted by her own kind. How could he promise his life to her? And yet, he looked into her trembling eyes and saw something he could not deny. She was not lying. She was not tricking him. She was simply afraid. Afraid of death. Afraid of being alone. Afraid of a fate worse than either. The leader of the hunters raised his weapon. His voice echoed through the chamber. The cursed one dies tonight, and the human with her. The man grabbed a crystal shard from the ground. It was sharp and jagged, nothing compared to their weapons, but it was all he had. He stood tall in front of her, ready to fight. The alien woman whispered again, her voice breaking. You will not survive this battle. Not alone, but if you accept me. If you marry me, you will not be alone anymore. The words struck him hard. For so long he had been alone, stranded, lost, forgotten by the galaxy. No one cared if he lived or died, until now. Now here was someone who needed him. Someone who begged him to stand with her. The man's jaw tightened. His mind spun. He could feel the weight of the decision pressing on his chest. It was more than survival. It was a choice of meaning. A choice of future. He looked at the alien woman. If I do this, he said slowly, there's no going back. Her glowing eyes filled with tears. Yes, once we are bound, we are one. Forever. The hunters moved closer, circling like wolves. Their leader raised his weapon to fire the final shot. The man took a deep breath. His voice was steady. Then I choose. The chamber shook with a blast before he could finish. The hunters fired again, their beams crashing against the rocks. The air was thick with heat and smoke. The man pulled the alien woman to safety, behind a fallen pillar. They crouched low, hearts pounding. Say it now, she begged. It is the only way. Up. He looked at her, sweat dripping down his face. Every instinct told him to run, to fight, to survive on his own. But something stronger told him to stay, to protect her. He touched her trembling hand. If I do this, if I say yes, you must promise me something. Her breath caught. Anything. You must promise me that you will fight too. No more running. No more hiding. If we are bound, then you stand with me. Always. Her silver eyes blazed like fire. For the first time, he saw strength behind the fear. I promise, she whispered. The hunters were almost upon them now. Their shadows stretched across the ground, weapons glowing. The leader raised his arm, ready to strike. The man turned back. To her, his voice was strong. "Then it's decided." Her lips parted in shock. For a moment, hope lit her face. But before she could speak, the hunters charged. Energy blasts ripped through the chamber, shaking the ground. The man grabbed her, hand tightly. Their eyes locked. The moment of choice had come. Would he say the words that would bind them forever? Or would death strike them both before he could? The alien woman leaned close, her voice breaking into a cry. "Say it! Say it now!" The man opened his mouth, his heart burning with the weight of destiny, and then the hunters crashed upon them with fire and steel. The hunters' attack was fierce, but the man and the alien woman escaped deeper into the tunnels. Their footsteps echoed through the dark stone corridors. The sound of chasing boots behind them. The alien woman led the way now. Her glowing eyes lit the path, faint but steady. She whispered in a trembling voice, "There is one place left, a sacred place. If we can reach it, we can perform the bond. The old laws will protect us there." The man followed close, his chest burning with every breath. "A sacred place. What kind of place is it?" She turned her head, her silver hair flowing like mist. "An ancient temple. It was built before my people became cruel. There the bond between alien and human is strongest. If we speak the vows there, even the hunters cannot break it." The man clenched his jaw. He didn't trust legends, but he had no other choice. The hunters' voices carried through the tunnels. "They are near. Do not let them escape." The two ran until the tunnel opened into a wide cavern. At the center stood a broken temple carved from black stone. Strange symbols glowed faintly on the walls, pulsing like a heartbeat. In the middle was a stone platform, shaped like two hands joined together. The alien woman fell to her knees before it, her voice shook with reverence. "This is it. The place of binding." The man looked around. The air felt heavy, charged with energy. The glowing symbols seemed to watch him. "So, this is where it happens." She nodded. "Yes, but the ritual must be completed. Words alone are not enough. The temple must accept us." The man frowned. "And if it doesn't," her eyes lowered, "then the bond will fail. And we will both die." The sound of approaching hunters grew louder. There was no time. The alien woman stood and reached for his hands. Her touch was cold but trembling with urgency. "Repeat after me," she whispered. "Our lives are one. Our fate is one. Our hearts are one." The man hesitated, staring into her glowing eyes. This was not just survival now. This was a promise. A vow that would bind him forever. He swallowed hard and spoke slowly, his voice echoing in the temple. "Our lives are one. Our fate is one. Our hearts are one." The temple shook. The glowing symbols flared with light. A soft hum filled the cavern, rising in strength. The stone platform beneath their feet glowed brighter. The alien woman's voice grew stronger. She spoke words in her own language, ancient and melodic. The sound filled the air like a song of stars. But before she could finish, the cavern entrance exploded. The hunters stormed in, their weapons blazing. The man pulled her close. "Keep going." The alien woman shouted the last words of the ritual, her voice ringing with desperation. The temple responded. A beam of light rose from the platform, surrounding them in a shimmering shield. The hunters fired, but their blasts bounced off the barrier. They hissed and roared in anger. The leader stepped forward, his red mask glowing like fire. His voice was venom. "Do you think old laws can save you? You are cursed. The bond will not hold. The man stood tall beside her. For the first time, he felt the bond inside him, a strange warmth in his chest. He looked at the hunters with steady eyes. Then we'll find out. The alien woman's silver glow spread across her body, wrapping around the man as well. Their hands burned with light where they touched. The hunters circled, searching for a way in. The leader raised his weapon high, a blade of energy sparking with power. The alien woman whispered, her voice trembling but fierce. One final vow remains. If we speak it together, the bond will be sealed. The man tightened his grip on her. Hand, tell me. But before she could, the leader of the hunters struck the barrier with his weapon. The shield cracked, light splintering like glass. The alien woman gasped. No, it's too soon. The bond is not complete. The man pulled. Her clothes, their foreheads almost touching. Then tell me the last words. Now her glowing eyes locked on his. If we speak them, there is no turning back. The barrier cracked again, pieces of light breaking away. The hunters roared with triumph. The man's voice was steady, even. As the ground shook, say them, I'm ready. The alien woman's lips parted. She whispered the final vow words that would seal their fate forever. But before they could speak it together, the barrier shattered with a sound like thunder, and the hunters rushed in. The barrier of light shattered into pieces, falling like broken glass across the cavern floor. The hunters roared in victory as they rushed forward, their weapons blazing with red fire. The human man pulled the alien woman behind him, gripping a jagged shard of crystal like a blade. His heart thundered in his chest, but his eyes burned with determination. Stay close, he whispered. The alien woman's silver glow flickered, dim and weak. The bond had not been completed. Without the final vow, they were still vulnerable. She clutched his arm, trembling. We are not strong enough yet. The leader of the hunters stepped into the chamber, his mask glowing with cruel red light. His voice was sharp like steel. You cannot escape, cursed one. And you, human, are a fool for standing with her. Both of you will die tonight. The man raised his makeshift blade. If I die, I'll take some of you with me. The hunters laughed, a terrible metallic sound. They charged. The first swung his weapon, a spear crackling with energy. The man ducked low and slashed with the crystal shard, cutting across the hunter's arm. Sparks burst from the wound. The hunter staggered back with a roar. The alien woman gasped. She had never seen a human fight like this, fierce, unyielding, refusing to break. Her silver eyes glowed brighter, her heart pounding with something. New hope. But more hunters came. Blasts of red fire filled the air. The man pulled her to cover behind a broken pillar. Stones exploded around them. We can't hold them off forever, he said, his breath ragged. She touched his hand, her voice shaking. The bond gives power. Even incomplete, it awakens something inside us. Fight with me, not alone. The man looked at her glowing eyes, and for the first time, he felt it. A strange warmth in his chest, spreading through his veins. His muscles burned with strength. His fear turned into fire. They stood together. When the hunters charged again, the alien woman raised her hand. Silver light burst from her palm, striking one of the hunters and throwing him across the chamber. The man leaped forward, his shard slashing another to the ground. The cavern shook with battle. Energy blasts clashed with silver light. Sparks flew. Crystals shattered. The man and alien woman moved as one, their bond growing with every strike, every heartbeat. But then the leader entered the fight. He towered over them, his weapon a massive blade glowing like fire. With a single swing, he shattered the stone floor. Sending waves of dust and rock into the air, The man staggered but held his ground. The alien woman's glow faltered under the pressure of his presence. The leader's voice thundered through the chamber. You think a weak human and a cursed alien can stand against me? I am the law. I am death. He struck again. The man barely blocked with his crystal shard, the force sending him crashing against the wall. Pain shot through his body, but he forced himself to rise. The alien woman ran to him, her hands glowing as she tried to heal his wounds. Her voice shook with desperation. We cannot win like this. The bond is unfinished, without the final vow. We are only half. The man's blood dripped onto the stones. He clenched his jaw. Then tell me the vow. Now, before it's too late. Her silver eyes filled with tears. If we speak it, there is no turning back. We will be bound forever. The leader raised his blade, ready to strike the final blow. The man's voice was steady, even as the shadow of death loomed over him. Forever is better than dying alone. The alien woman's breath caught. For the first time, her fear turned into courage. She pressed her glowing hand against his chest. Then say it with me. She whispered together. Their voices rose, strong and clear. Our souls are one. Our strength is one. Our destiny is one. The temple erupted in light. A shockwave burst from their joined hands, throwing the hunters back. The leader staggered, his mask cracking under the force. The cavern shook as the old laws awakened. The man felt power surge through him faster, stronger, brighter than anything before. The alien woman's silver glow wrapped around him like armor. They were no longer two. They were one. The hunters screamed in rage and fear. The leader roared and raised his weapon again. No bond can defeat me. The man stepped forward, light blazing in his eyes. The alien woman stood beside him, her voice steady and fierce. Then face us both. The final battle began. Energy clashed with light. Steel struck crystal. The cavern shook like a storm of fire and thunder. And just as victory seemed near, the leader revealed his true form, his body growing, his mask breaking, his voice turning into a monstrous roar. He was more than a hunter. He was something far worse. The man and alien woman braced themselves, the bond burning brighter than ever. The fate of both their lives would be decided in the next moment. The cavern shook like a dying beast. Crystals fell from the ceiling, shattering into dust. The hunters lay broken on the ground, but their leader had changed. His body grew taller, his armor cracked open, and red fire poured from the wounds. His voice became a monstrous roar. The human man and the alien woman stood side by side, their hands clasped, their bond burning like a living flame. Their eyes glowed together, silver and human fire, two lights merged as one. The leader raised his massive weapon, glowing with unbearable heat. You cannot stop me, he thundered. Your bond is weak. Your love is nothing. The man's voice was steady, cutting through the chaos. Then you don't understand humans. The alien woman's silver glow wrapped tighter around him, her power flowing through his body. He felt her heartbeat inside his chest as if it was his own. Together, they charged. The leader swung his blade, splitting stone, but they moved as one. The man ducked low, slashing with his crystal shard, while the alien woman unleashed a beam of silver light that struck the leader's chest. He staggered, but did not fall. The ground split open, molten fire rising from below. The cavern was becoming a tomb. The alien woman shouted over the roar, her voice trembling with both fear and courage. The bond is strong, but to defeat him, we must complete the marriage, not just the vows, the final union. The man's breath caught. He understood. This was more than survival. This was forever. He looked at her glowing eyes, filled with not tears, but burning with hope. "Then let's finish it. Together?" She nodded. Her voice became steady, ancient, and strong. "Place your hand over my heart." He did. Her silver light flowed into him like water, filling every corner of his soul. "Now," she whispered, "say the last words. I choose you, forever." The hunter's leader roared and charged, fire bursting from his body. The man stood tall, his voice echoing through the temple, unshakable. "I choose you, forever." The alien woman cried out the same words in her own language, her voice pure and radiant. The temple erupted. A beam of light shot from the platform, piercing the cavern, roof and stretching into the endless sky. The ground trembled, the walls cracked, and the ancient laws awakened in full. The bond was complete. The leader screamed as the light wrapped around him. His massive form began to break apart, his weapon melting into dust. The fire in his body turned to smoke. With one final roar of fury, he was torn into nothingness, scattered into the void. The cavern fell silent. Only the man and the alien woman stood, our hands still joined, their bodies glowing with shared light. The hunters that remained crawled back in fear. None dared to attack. The law was clear. The bond could not be broken. The alien woman looked at him, her silver eyes shining with awe. "It is done. We are one now, husband and wife, forever." Man's chest rose and fell with heavy breaths. He looked at her, truly looked, and for the first time in years, he felt alive. Not just surviving. Alive, he gave a small, tired smile. "I guess I'm married now." She laughed softly, a sound filled with relief and joy. Her hand squeezed his. "Not just married. Protected. Together, we can never be hunted again." The cavern's glow faded, leaving them in the quiet aftermath. The hunters vanished into the shadows, defeated by ancient law. The danger was gone for now, but as they stepped out of the temple into the cold night, the alien woman's smile faded. She gazed at the stars with a shadow in her eyes. "They will not stop," she whispered. "Others will come, stronger. The galaxy will not forgive this bond." The man followed her gaze. The stars looked different, now brighter, sharper, almost watching them. He felt the weight of their choice. "Let them come," he said. "They'll find us ready." Her silver hand slipped into his. Together, they stood under the endless sky, bound not by fear, but by fate. Far above, in the silent dark, hidden eyes observed them. Old powers older than the hunters stirred awake. The bond had been made, and it would not go unnoticed. Their story was not over. It had only just begun.